Yo, 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 yo.
Yo, yo, yo. Peace. Welcome back. Secret House against Tokyo-based hip-hop art and culture conversations. We're back after a little bit. Well, we have to say that all the time. We haven't been recording as much. We're getting on it, though. Next week, Def C and Aesop Rock. Also, you know, today we're back. Tokyo-based hip-hop art and culture. We're going to be discussing a new album from Yo with an H.
Yo.
It's called Leaning, and I believe he was nice enough to send this to us.
He sent this to us, around the time it came out, maybe a little before, give or take a few days.
Yeah, it's been out for a while now. It came out on May 7th. It is 8 songs, 22 minutes. And yeah, how do we know Yo?
We know Yo through the Noname tape a few few months ago.
Fucking Midi Neutron.
Midi Neutron, yeah. Ikeru, he's on that.
Yeah, he's a part of that collective. He is a rapper, poet, producer, beat maker, artist.
Yep.
He was previously based in New York,
New
York.
He's from Brooklyn, yeah.
He's a part of that kind of like a fascinating, incredible, independent, grassroots, super dope, avant-garde type community of artists out there. Like we mentioned, Nakama, Midi Neutron. Also, we've got cats like
Solo was involved with some of your stuff. They've collaborated. They performed together at least. Just New York being real good as per, and you know, Brooklyn being a hub of creative and interesting avant-garde alternative experimental hip hop.
That's right. And this album was released on New York's Young Bloods imprint. They've released a lot this year, and I'm going to have to tap into them more because I'm not super familiar. But this album from Yo it's completely self-produced with some musicians, contributing, I suppose, but him arranging, producing, and putting this all together. And this album comes after his move to Brazil, right? Yeah, so we've got a snippet here. You want to tell us about the album?
Yeah,
this is a really short, breezy listen, and I'm not sure exactly how deep we're going to delve into it, but we really wanted to share this one.
So I was hoping we could see. I'm trying to see who wrote this piece from the Bandcamp page.
Because it's really fucking good.
It's very good, and I don't want to claim it as my own words. I'm assuming this comes from Youngbloods. But yeah, I'll give you an excerpt rather. It says, Leaning is carved from actively seeking out new experiences and sees Yo exploring beyond the contours of his creative process in search of a more personal and three-dimensional style of storytelling. In his words, Leaning has several meanings in relation to this project. The act of deviating from a linear position, a strong instinct, preference, or to lean in, which is difficult to accept the challenge of doing something difficult. There's been a lot of leaning in my life recently. I find myself taking trips to London, represent, and Berlin, allowing me to connect with amazing musicians I otherwise would have never met. I moved to Brazil after meeting my partner, exploring South America, and stepping outside of my comfort zone to self-produce every song on this project. I learned how to sew and started taking design and fashion more seriously. I began doing more print and commercial work, and I learned Portuguese. The merging of all of these mediums showed me that the what-ifs of life can turn into the unexpected and welcomed adventures.
And these are the tracks in the background that we're playing, and I think that's one of the things that stands out the most to me about this album is kind of the production vibe and aesthetic is really unique, and it's really I really feel like, I mean, obviously it's like hip hop shit, but it's also like super cool to the point where it's like I'm not going to these shows apparently. Like this is like really really dope and vibey, and I think that like the lyrics and kind of the sprinkling of vocals all over the album are really incredible. But the thing that makes this album feel really special to me is like the cohesion of the poetry, the delivery, as well as the sonic soundscapes. And the sonic soundscapes are fucking amazing. When I got the album and I first listened to it, I was like, well, this is fucking, he's pretty good at rapping, but who is doing the production on this shit? Yeah. Because they are working together in an amazing way. And yeah, this fucking album, super short. It's one that I want to like turn on in the living room where it's like kind of nighttime and maybe you got something in the air or a glass of like wine, or you know what I mean? Like it's a really cool type of vibe.
It's also, you know, in its shortness, I think it works in its favor in that kind of just feels like a 22-minute long track. You know, it's very complete as a piece, and of course there is a part of me that like yearns for a 45-minute long Yo album that manages to explore even more territory than this does. But I think, you know, this very much feels like a singular piece of artwork, even though it does jump across like several different genres. You know, seeing that he spent some time in Berlin and London makes a lot of sense to me, because I definitely see a lot of elements of that kind of like European jazz through the lens of like, you know, UK trip hop. There's like a griminess to it as well, a bit of that like, you know, post dubstep of the early 2010s that comes through in there, and it's like all present throughout this record. Like it's very, very diverse on a production and compositional level.
One of the things that doesn't really come through to me is like a Brazilian tropically, like a Brazilian sound that I would maybe expect if I only read the liner notes. But yeah, it definitely has this really interesting palette, and I think people, like, for me, and I don't mean to like compare, because I think that kind of would diminish both artists, Yo and More Mother. This kind of really reminds me of some of the aesthetic vibes that More Mother is able to create, whereas like it's like hip hop, but it's also beyond that. It stretches the genre and it does different things. In terms of like the musicality, the kind of atmospheric, immersive vibe, and the deeply poetic kind of East Coast New Yorican poet cafe blackness of it. It's got this really deeply personal, introspective, and it feels more like a window into Yo's work, and who he is as a person. And that's what I think really sets this album apart. It's really special in that way. I've never, even though I'm comparing it to More Mother, it doesn't sound like a More Mother album, but it gives you that feeling of like a complete type of thing that is also new and advanced and stretching. And you know, he's got the whole interpersonal bingo card of personal experience, thoughts, and twisting words, terms of phrases in a poetic way that really are dope. Is this his first album?
I believe.
Does he have other full lengths? Because I didn't get the notes on that.
I mean, there are other releases. Yes.
Okay. I know he's.
We've had it. Okay. Yeah, we've got a few here.
Okay, I've got to go back and check those out, and I wonder like what the vibe. Oh, he also did work with Cartoons, the producer, which I've got to check. I meant to check that one out because Cartoons is fucking ill.
Yes.
So yeah, man, this one, like. If I could, here, I'm just going to go through some of like the beats. Like the first joint, Craters, it starts with this kind of spoken wordy type of thing. And I fucking hate spoken word as a descriptor for these type of things.
What?
It's not like slam poetry. It's like fucking rapping, but it's like, you know, it's got a poetic tinge, a poetic lens.
Kind of element to it. Yeah, with an auto-poesy kind of thing going on.
And it's kind of like, it seems a little bit staticky, and there's this analog type of hiss that's going on behind it. And then one of the things that gets more and more intricate is like this wild guitar progression that's going on in the back that takes it from being this minimal type of beat to being something that is just like the musicality is something to marvel at as well. And it's fucking great. And he has lines like ashes in my candles smell like maybes. Yeah.
Shifted tides and rooms to watch the moon from
I think all the lyrics are the lyrics on the Bandcamp.
I would assume so. They're on Apple.
Okay.
I drift too long and end up like the father in the further spirits wanted me.
And then like I'll fast forward. And that guitar, like, oh man, this album is so good. There's these kind of deep, like, it's got like all these fucking like kind of like 808 type of deep drums, and it goes into like the London and Berlin aspects of it, like you were saying. There's kind of an almost drum and bass electronica type of EDM type of, you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah. I'm guessing that this the photo of the album cover is a picture in Brazil. He's got the all-in-one type of washing machine that we get out here in small apartments. You know, that's an American style. Maybe it's a New York thing, but I've never been out there. So, but yeah. Yeah. This is, today we're recording two kind of short albums. We're recording this, and we're also going to be recording an album with Slumber Logic, produced by Clown Cat.
Yeah.
And they're really just short blasts, kind of 20-some minute listens, which we've had for a few weeks, both of them, and we want to highlight this type of stuff. It looks as though that Yo's cultivated a nice grassroots following on his Spotify page. He's got like something around like 5,000 listeners, which is tremendous for an artist. That's doing a grassroots and independent as fuck, and also not an artist necessarily to get the type of looks that you would from a lot of places. But the caliber and the quality of work on this is something that I will be sharing with a large contingent of my friends who would be interested in this stuff. I think somebody like Mandisi Dark Cow would really appreciate the musicality on this, and it's not necessarily something that you give to somebody that listens to Boldy James and they'll fuck with it. But man, this is right up my alley, and I'll be waiting for the right opportunity. This is like a really good album if you got like a nice lady face with you or something and you just want to vibe out, because it's not like too much. It creates a really dope vibe, and it's also extremely like high level.
Yes.
What are your favorites?
Yeah.
Or did you have some more to say about the lyrics and things?
I guess my favorites on here are probably Moths, Sableye, and maybe the single Zenko.
Those are my three favorites as well.
There we go.
Yeah, especially like I like the Moths kind of just hits after a minute, and then the Sableye production. I really love that horn and the beat and how it builds. But the Zenko shit, it also has like this chorus, this refrain that gets stuck in my head. I'm only here for
make it to paper.
Yeah, that shit is hard.
It's some real like
everything I want.
lowbrow high art shit.
Yeah.
Where it's like
which is kind of like my favorite.
yeah, for real. And it's like what we try and do on this show. Like it's got it's got this beauty and this kind of ambience to it. Zenko, I'm assuming this is a Japanese word. There's like 15 different things it could mean because this country has, this language has so many fucking homophones, homonyms, synonyms, whatever, homophones. Homophobes. I made the best joke ever, and like people like in a group chat the other day, people talking about homophones in Japanese, and I was like, yo, Japanese homophobes be like bassoon. Nobody got it. If you get it,
we'll send you some stickers.
We'll send you some stickers. Yo, we got
secret house stickers.
We got merch, I guess.
Not really. My wife just fucking had like 1,000 stickers printed as a surprise. But yeah, no, it is a really, really incredible record, and I think a lot of our listeners would really appreciate what Yo is doing here sonically. This is one I'm going to be coming back to a lot this year, and I can definitely see on my end of year list. Yeah, this is like this might get some play in the Love Hotels.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to more Yo stuff. I've got to go back in the catalog and check them out. Of course, the link is in the bio. Please support, give some loot, share some posts. And you could even give a like to us and subscribe to us and think about joining our Patreon. We're making some changes here. I actually just put some money down towards, the Black Alliance for Peace and some other places, some political programs here. We're doing that, as well as join our Discord. We've been having some lovely conversations about theory and books, and also it's like a hip hop spot, an art spot where we talk about video games for fucking hours.
Kind of working on a mixtape right now. Like we've got some really dope people working on like who've contributed beats and rhymes to it. I need to get off my ass and like start curating and directing again. I've been sick for a little while, so I've been out of commission, but look forward to that too.
Yeah, indeed.
More on that when it's closer to release.
Secret House against
Secret House.